Hey friends, I just survived what is my worst market ever. And by worst, I mean I only made $15. 1 5. Come along with me as we relive the highs and lows of this crochet adventure where I question my life choices and how in the world do I bounce back and be positive after only making $15. So this market that I'm going to be doing is a little different in that I've never done it before, but also this week has been a little off. It is Thanksgiving week, so that means a vacation week, which I hosted. And then at the beginning of the week, my son and his girlfriend were in a serious accident. They hit a deer and believe they are both okay. So you can't see, but this is indented. They're gonna go take it to the collision center, see if it's even salvageable. I'm guessing not. And they're going to drive away now. Bye, Pearl. But the prep for this was a little bit slower, but I do have good stock, and I will show you as I gather my things to get ready for my market tomorrow. One good thing is that I don't have to take my tent and I don't have to mess with weights because I get to be inside. So that means I need to remember my safety pins so that I can pin my sign on the front of my table instead of back behind. So I will take you around and show you what I'm doing to prepare for this market. So these, I'm probably gonna try and make at least one more thing, but these are some nativities that I just finished and bagged up. Actually, I need to get the tags on them. So those will be ready. But everything else that I worked on this week, several of these dolls, I have already tagged and put in my inventory. And then I also need to bag and inventory these little jobbies right there. Some of them have pom-poms, some of them don't. So I need to do that as well, but not a big deal. I need to go in here and grab my tables and my dolly and take them to where my other things are. So we'll just go in the other room and I will show you what I have so far over here. I have my inventory, so I'm hoping to be able to sell some flowers. Haven't been able to sell any of those yet. And then the rest of my stock are in these. And then I have to go upstairs and get some hats and my other racks and then go out in the garage. So I'm gonna go do that and pull it in and I'll show you. Meanwhile, this little girl found a neat stick and she thought she would bring and show it to me. I have no idea where that stick came from, but you know, it's a dog. All right, I have the baskets and these things. And I also, what else did I bring in? I think that's all of it that I brought in. Oh, and I bought the hats down upstairs. So I'm not gonna put too many out, I'm thinking. I'm not going to do a setup because I don't have a lot of time. I'm supposed to go to a movie tonight too. So that'll be good though, because I need to kind of decompress from what I'm doing. But so far, this is what I've got. And of course the girls always have to investigate. So I'm excited about that. I need to get my stuff out for my snacks. My kitchen's a bit of a mess because I didn't clean up yesterday and that's how it rolls. Okay, we are on our way to the market. We're gonna get there around 8, which is great. Gives me plenty of time to set up and see how I want to display some of my newer things. And when I get that all done, I'll show you, but also I will show you the venue. I got an inside booth or inside location, which is kind of nice because it's a little chilly today. What's the temperature? I don't even know. You know? Oh, it's 50 degrees outside. That's cold for us in Arizona. And it's going to be a high of 71, which will be really nice, but I will be inside and I don't have to worry about a tent. That's happy. Before, but it was a big room. I'll do a little pan out here in a second. Here we go, set up. We're inside, which I am really liking. Here, I was gonna borrow doll holders from my mom and I did not. I forgot. So here is my stocking stuffer sign. Here's my random basket. And then I've got headbands. I haven't pulled those out in a while. Then I got my hats. Then, because I'm inside, I did my sign this way. And I'm right by a window, but hopefully the light will let you see what stuff is in here. Oh, it's hard to see with that light. And look at this. I got a little creche for it. And here's the nativities that I have been making. Added some flowers, and they're backwards, so I need to turn those around. There's my QR code. Here are the doll accessories that I finished and bagged. I made those signs in Canva. There's another hat. I need to put my pouches up there, which I haven't done. Then you come over here and hung the beanies and the farmyard. We got to adjust that sign. Put the kitties in the basket down there. Chickens, some turtles, all my chickens. And then you got my hats. So far we're 5 minutes in and I've had a few people come through, but I did go walk around and see what else was here, and there are 4 crocheters here. One is kind of not, and there's one lady that's like me, and her prices are a little less expensive than mine, and she has similar items, not identical, but it'll be interesting how this market goes. But so far it's pretty quiet. I think, you know, I wonder how well this was broadcast or whatever. My sister-in-law told me about this one, so it'll be really interesting just checking in to tell you the lay of the land. Okay, number 1 seller I think is the mystery bags. I literally was here for probably 2 hours before I sold anything. And I sold one of my, what is Mouse in the House? Can't even think. And then I've had a lot of love on the ostrich. A lot of love on the nativity, but I didn't sell any. And so the other things are still here. So I will give you a breakdown. We are about to break this down in just a little bit, so that'll be nice. This first sale happened at noon, and it was a mystery bag for $5. I highly recommend that if you're doing markets, do the mystery bags. There's something about them that people like. Okay, the thing that really bothered me, I really try and be as honest as I can with my pricing. I be as close as I can to the margins that I can with my pricing. And I have never, ever, ever been asked to, hey, can you give me a deal? Can you give me a discount? Can you give me whatever? I was asked 3 different times. First person that asked me was having a hard time trying to decide between 2 items. And she asked if I could, give her a deal like that because she was buying 2. And I said, no. I price these as they are, as close as they can be, and I don't try and raise my prices. So, and if I lost a sale, that she wasn't my person at all. I don't do discounts. Like I said, I try and be as, close to what and honest with what I am creating. I have a specialty skill that not a lot of people have. If you are a crocheter, that is a specialty skill, and I, charge more than minimum wage. Arizona has a high minimum wage, and so I go a little bit above minimum wage because, hello, it's a specialty skill that not everybody has. The second person came in and asked if I was giving Black Friday deals. And I said, nope. And then she walked out. She didn't even walk in the booth. She saw what I had and walked back out again. And the third time, the person came in and again said something to the effect, are you giving any discounts? No, I'm not. And I was really frustrated. And what's interesting is that my vendor neighbor heard all of these interactions and she was frustrated for me. She's like, No, this is, we're trying to be as honest as we can. So I felt validated. And the thing, my takeaway is I have done 2 other markets, and it was years ago. I did it with a friend, and we really didn't sell very well at the church, at these different churches. I don't think churches are a good fit for me. A lot of the people that were at the market did not do well. I talked to different vendors and I just said, hey, how'd you do? Did you make your booth fee? And some people said no. And that I felt bad. My sister-in-law, she did okay. She made her booth fee and a little bit more, but she sells different things than I do. She sells like gluten-free items, and then she also does sewing items. I'm not saying for you that you should avoid churches. For me, that is not a good fit. My husband and I got in the car and I was frustrated. And we were headed to another event. We went to a football game, and it's just been a week this last week. And I asked my son before I did this market whether or not I should, because I wanted to spend time with him because I don't get to see him very often. He's like, Mom, go ahead and do it. So it was really cute because he and his girlfriend came and visited me while I was there. But for me, that I don't want to feel frustrated. So I had a friend actually reach out to me. She's like, oh, that's my church. I hope you did good. And I said, well, I can honestly say that I made new friends, which I did. I had several people, well, I should say a few people take my card. And one person is now following me, and she's already communicating with me on social media. I had another person that her child wants to learn how to crochet. And I said, hey, I have a YouTube channel if you'd like to follow me, and I would love to help in their crochet journey. I told the one lady, I said, I am not gatekeeping crochet. She asked me how I did something, and I told her, because guess what? I learned it from social media. I learned it from YouTube on how to do like attaching granny squares to the caps that I have. It's okay to share information. It's not like it's going to take something away from you. So my takeaways are, go check out the market before you do it, if at all possible. Putting it out there on social media so that other people know, and just roll with the punches, really. And like I said, I'm not going to do any more churches. That's just not my jam. Just not going to do it. And I'm okay with that. I use Square to help me keep track of my inventory, and if somebody wants to charge with a credit card. All right, so we're going to just do a breakdown of how many sales I actually had, minus my booth fee, minus taxes. So my total take home is that $15. So let's break it down. And I am going to be looking here at Square. So I had 7 transactions, which, let's be positive, it's better than nothing. I do have to say, I am grateful that I made my booth fee up. I was really worried that I was not going to make up my booth fee. So I made my booth fee up. So let's get a clap on that one. All right. So seven transactions totaled $71, but you have to minus $50 for my booth fee, which is the cheapest booth fee I have ever had. And then my taxes came up to $513. And then I had fees for my Square, because they do take a fee to use a card. So my total after all those subtractions equals... Did I have fun? I always have fun. I was able to eat my sandwich, my tuna fish sandwich on sourdough bread, because I take it every time, love it. I was almost able to finish another doll that I was making. And I had some really good conversation with people, and I had several people come through and say, oh, your booth is really cute. So those were all pros. I was really trying really hard not to be grumpy, because it is frustrating when you put all that time and effort into something and then it doesn't turn out the way that you would hoped it for. I was like, had these goals that it was going to be like a lot of money, and it wasn't. And that's okay. Because guess what? I have one more market for this year, and now I don't have to work so hard in filling all of, my stock, my inventory, because it's already done. And I can work on Christmas gifts. I can work on custom orders. Like I said, roll with the punches. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Learn from me. Do your research about your markets. do what feels right for you. The one thing I did say to the girl next to me that was vending her Christian art, she's like, oh, I feel like I'm burned out. I'm burned out in what I'm doing. And I just looked at her and I said, you know what I do? I make the things that bring me joy. Make the things that bring you joy. If you're not enjoying making something, put it down, put it away, don't do it, and don't push through it. Because you're not going to be as joyful when you're selling your items. I love every single piece of thing that is in my booth. There are several things that I have made in the past that don't go in the booth. They either get donated or they just disappear into the trash can because I have a standard that I set for myself that, I want to have my name on it. And so I don't just put anything out there. So enjoy what you're doing. Don't give up. If you need a break, take a break. But markets are super fun. They really, really are. I am going to be doing a video that's coming out next week about how do you engage customers at your markets. So stay tuned for that. Happy crocheting and happy market vending.